Hey everybody, and welcome back to another fishing report video. My name is Michael. It is mid-September. We'll call it early fall. We are on the Dream Stream section of the South Platte River today. Today the weather was overcast. It's starting to drizzle right now. It was pretty chilly this morning, but it was nice and calm, which is, I'll take that any day out here on the Dream Stream. The outlook for the weather, a lot of high 60s, low 70s, that really nice early fall conditions with 20 to 30% chance of afternoon storms, which is just pretty typical for this time of year. If you can find yourself out here when it's calm and not windy though, that sure is nice, and we enjoyed that this morning. Flows on the Dream Stream today are about 170 CFS, which is a pretty high flow for this section. Really nice fishable flow. Fish are pretty spread out, and there's probably some early lake run brown trout moving into the system as well as they prepare for their fall spawning. For hatches and bugs this time of year, you definitely want to have some tricos in your box. This morning at around 10, there was a pretty prolific trico hatch. Fish were rising pretty consistently. I was able to fool some fish on the surface, but it never hurts to have little terrestrial, little hopper patterns as well, like a micro chubby, useful in just about any river, any time of year. As we progress into the fall, you might consider your leeches, your egg-sucking leeches, your egg patterns, and your streamers as well to get that aggressive response. Midges are always in play up here as well. Definitely saw some midges out today. Consider having some scuds in your box as well, being a tailwater with a lot of good vegetation. As always, you can stick around to the end of the video and we'll show you some of our favorite flies this time of year. So this morning, as I often do, I had two rods with me. The first rod we started with was a double dry fly rig, and that worked pretty well. I had a micro chubby and then trailed behind it a little trico dry. Like I said, there was a lot of fish rising. I got pretty good opportunities at some quality fish. I just wasn't able to keep any of them on the line, so I didn't land any of those good fish. But it's nice to know you can come out here, put in half a day, and really have good shots and good opportunities at some quality fish on tiny dry flies. So that's a lot of fun. I filled in the gaps with a lot of small fish, especially when I started nymphing with my other rod. I couldn't hardly keep those little fish off those nymphs. So that's a lot of fun. I was searching for that bigger fish. It just didn't quite happen today. That's how it goes. I definitely had my opportunities. Today on my double dry fly rig, I had a long leader to help get me the longest good looking drift possible. It was probably 10 or 11 feet. They make these nice long presentation tapered leaders down to 5 and 6X for those tiny dry flies. And that worked well for me. I was able to get some really high quality drifts. As we progress into the fall, we're gonna see those lake run brown trout in the system, and you might consider putting away the 5 and 6X for those fish and busting out the 3X, maybe 4X for those bigger fish. Really aggressive takes, sharp teeth, all that stuff. You're gonna wanna beef up your tippet a little bit. Those lake run fish, they tend to be a little less leader or tippet shy. They just came out of the lake. They haven't been pressured all summer long. So you can get away with those thicker tippets, and it's gonna help you land those fish as well. As we move into October and even November, we're gonna see a lot of spawning brown trout in this section of the river. They're very visible when they're spawning. They're on shallow parts of the river typically with a nice clean gravel bottom. Those are signals that those fish are trying to spawn. And as enticing as it might be to drift a fly to those fish, it's in our best interest to just move on and maybe fish the deeper runs behind those spawning beds and try to find those fish that are not quite in the spawning mood yet, but they're in the area and we can just leave those vulnerable fish alone for the most part. For your weekend outlook and other fishing opportunities, right here in South Park, we've got the big reservoirs, Spinney and Taro. They're starting to pick up. A lot of nice browns are being caught out of Antero right now. So we look forward to fishing that through the fall. Back home in the Arkansas River Valley, the Arkansas River itself is still fishing really well. We're running wade trips and float trips daily with great results. If you want to get into the Alpine and do some high laking, you still got a couple weeks, maybe a few weeks. That first freeze is always maybe somewhere in the end of September, early October. It's always hard to pinpoint that. So still a little bit of time left if you haven't made it up to the high country yet. As always, we really appreciate you watching our videos. Please give us a thumbs up and like the video if you enjoyed it. Consider subscribing to the channel to see more content in the future. We are still open at the shop 8 to 6 every day. Give us a call or stop on by if we can help you in any way, and we'll be seeing you soon.